never even got to do that before.
Welcome to Hoovies Garage, the dumbest automotive channel in all of YouTube, and about twice a year I get tired of you all commenting that I never work on my own cars. I'm not a real man, a real car guy, because I don't get my hands dirty. But I am really, really bad at it, and also I don't like doing it. But when I bought this Volvo, this 1987 960 turbo brick, I looked under the hood and it looks so simple. It looks so simple, I feel like this car is just Legos for grown-ups. It could be fixed really by anybody, so I've decided to hire myself at the Wizard shop and be a mechanic for a day. So back before you had your own business, how much were you making as a normal mechanic at a shop?
At the last place I worked, which was years ago, it was $22 an hour.
$22 an hour, which mechanics, they kind of get paid differently. They don't get paid for how long they're standing inside the shop. They get paid on how productive they are. I think it's called flag hour, right?
Right, yeah.
So the faster you are at working on a car, the more money you can potentially make. The same side of it, the slower you are, the less money that you can make. But this car is so simple that I can probably make the flag hour. So we have a list of things that we came up with during the inspection. I think we're going to start with the belts, right?
Belts.
Yes, put the belt on. The belt was completely off the AC compressor, so we have no idea if it works. So once we get the belts back on, we can plug it in with your AC machine and see if I'm going to save basically $1,000 on a new AC system or not. So fingers crossed there. Then we can move on to an oil leak,
Oil leak,
a transmission leak,
the
water pump,
pump,
and the front struts.
front strut cartridges, yes.
So this is a pretty good list, but I think I can handle it.
Do you think you can wing it?
Yes, I'm ready.
Let's get started.
Right. All right, I need tools. Well, I can't help but marvel at this car's simplicity. This is something you really don't see in modern cars, everything being easy to reach and simple and understandable. But that doesn't mean this car is primitive. It has a 2.3-liter four-cylinder with a turbocharger, which is a really common application today. Turbochargers are finding their way into just about everything, but Volvo was one of the first to do this. And that's why I was really excited to find this thing, a turbo brick, but also with the manual transmission. Still, it needed a lot of work, including the belts, which were very worn. It was causing a horrible squealing noise whenever I accelerated, and the one for the AC compressor was completely off. So fingers crossed that takes care of the squeal, and maybe the AC will come back with a new belt and a fresh recharge. Probably not, it usually doesn't, but hopefully. All right, Wizzy, check my work here.
Check it out.
Nice, tight new belts.
Oh yeah, those are nice and taut.
Took me about half an hour.
To do all three of them?
Yeah.
That's about what it pays to do one.
Really?
Yeah. The compressor, the steering pump, and whatnot. 0.5, 0.6, 0.5, 3 belts.
So 1.6 hours, and that pays 35 bucks. So I beat the clock on a belt change.
Yes.
Which is really easy to do. If I could do it, that means like you could probably do it in 15 minutes.
Probably.
Yet you're charging me 1.6 hours.
Right. But there's also a flip side to that. Yeah, you'll see.
I'll see. Well, what's going to save me a lot of money if that AC compressor comes back to life?
Oh, I'm crossing my fingers on it.
Please, please. I can hook up Angry R2-D2, the AC charge machine of doom.
This thing cost me $4,000.
Wait, you said what?
This thing cost me $4,000 when I bought it.
$4,000?
Oh yeah.
And how much does one charge cost?
I charge an hour to hook up the machine, and then plus whatever Freon it takes every time I use the machine.
I see, but it still costs $4,000, so that's a long time before you're paying that back.
Good thing I've paid it off 2 years ago.
And it takes a while for this machine to do its magic, so Wizard and I took a little break, but now we're back, and apparently it's holding a charge, right?
It's work. I think it's going to work.
You think it's going to fire up?
Oh, did you hear the beeping? It's done.
Angry R2-D2 is happy.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I've got the keys, so let's see if we have air conditioning. Or the compressor just explodes on startup. Okay. My very simple automatic climate control here will power it on in full cold. And maybe,
There it goes.
maybe, I heard the compressor kick on. It's getting cold.
The compressor's clicking on and off like it should, and I think the belt was broken. They just never put one back on.
This thing has cold air.
Yeah, it's blowing ice cold air now.
That saved me like $1,000. This is amazing. This is awesome. All right, well now I'm gonna have to take things apart and address the leaks.
Yes.
But this is great news. Mechanicking is fun, Wizard.
It can be.
I'm gonna quit YouTubing and start mechanicking.
No,
this
don't
is
do
so
that.
rewarding. All right, let's continue my audition to be the next master mechanic on Wheeler Dealers. Next, we are taking care of the leaks. We have two big ones, one coming from the oil cooler lines right here, and then another, well, several coming from the transmission. Both drain plugs need to be resealed, and then there's one piece back here, a little plate at the tail end that needs to come off and be resealed as well. Looks easy enough. Very easy.
Yeah, it is easy actually.
Amazing. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. It's on my pants.
Oh no.
Oh, that doesn't look like the color of transmission fluid, Wizard.
No, it looks like they use motor oil in a pinch. You can do that on these. It has an overdrive unit. They really suggest transmission fluid, ATF, the red stuff.
Even though it's a manual transmission, it has an overdrive button, an extra fifth gear that you push a button for. But what are you holding here?
The syringe.
Oh! It's missing the pan! Well, this little guy in the back of the transmission cost me a $30 Hoovies Garage shirt, unfortunately, available online. But what really amuses me about this is this thing looks as close to a Lego as any car part I have ever seen. This is like one of the most common Lego sizes, is this rectangular piece. Little magnet here, I guess, to catch metal shavings. So we are going to reseal this with some stuff.
Here's the gasket.
Yeah?
Good luck finding this gasket. That's the problem. So this gasket's not torn, it's just squished. So we can reseal it with silicone, a light layer, not a big blob. Put it back on and it'll reseal it and it'll be fine.
Bueno. All right, we have everything resealed on the transmission. The Lego is back, the pan for the overdrive unit, and now we are going to use this Swedish-made syringe. It's not mine, honestly.
That's not mine.
We use this to squirt transmission fluid using the top drain plug into the transmission. Yes.
And take the purple tip off.
I see. Take the purple tip off and add the fluid. Very nice. Okay, and I keep squirting in until it overflows up the top, and then it's full.
Oh, we'll suction it all the way back down. I never even got to do that before. I don't even know how you did that.
Well, the oil cooler lines broke loose in rather dramatic fashion, and now I am injured. But we'll reseal these, and then we can keep going. All right, Wizard, that kind of quit being fun. Once I injured myself, and I'm covered in goo, and shirts ruined, pants ruined. So what did the book time pay on a transmission service, what we just did?
That would have been an hour just to drain, refill, reseal the little drain plugs. That would have been an hour.
I mean, there's two of us, so it may have been a little less than an hour, but that took every bit of an hour. And then the oil reseal there, probably about another hour.
Yeah.
Once again, there were two of us, so it went slightly faster, but I'd say we're right close to book time there, and it definitely kicked my butt a little bit. So,
two people.
Yeah, next we'll move on to the water pump, which I didn't realize when I was putting these new belts on that all of the belts that I just put on have to come right back off to reach this water pump. But I'm still happy I did that because now I know that the AC works, so that's a happy day. But
Happy, yes.
There's a lot of stuff that has to come off to get to this water pump, unfortunately. I'll just dive right in. All right, with the lights off and the fan out of the way, it's pretty easy to tell where the water pump is leaking. You can see lots of coolant right around here. And strangely, it only happens when it's cold. When the car's warmed up, it doesn't leak at all under pressure. It's when it's sitting outside in the cold and whatever seal that's going bad in there shrinks, it just starts pouring water out. So that's why we are replacing the water pump with these brand new units right here. Now when I say a lot of stuff comes off, I'm really exaggerating, because if this were an Audi and we were doing a water pump, the whole nose of the car would have to come off. The mid-2000s Audis, right?
Oh yeah, the radiator, everything come out.
So really all I had to do was take off the fan and the timing belt cover, which is a good time to inspect the timing belt, and looks pretty good to me.
Yes, it looks nice.
No visible cracks. Looks like a fairly recent timing belt, so no reason to mess with that. And I got the water pump out, Wizard.
You do.
Old and new. Oh no. Oh no. Right in the tub of goo. Well, we ran out of time here. I bit off a little bit more than I can chew, I guess, as far as...
Did you keep track of which belt went where?
No, that was the other problem, because I can't put the fan back on until I figure out which belt goes where, and I have no idea.
Okay.
So I think I'm done. I think I'm going to leave this to you. Furthermore, this is the strut, which makes 0 sense, because a strut should have a lot more attached to it.
Yeah, the strut, everything has to come out the bottom, the rotor, everything just comes out. Then you disassemble it, take it apart, and just replace the center port.
It's like the rotor and the whole front axle.
Yeah.
That's like Santa Claus giving your kid one of those like Power Wheels or a bicycle or something on Christmas Eve, and then it's all this assembly that is required that you're up all night putting it together. That's kind of crappy. I wish they would sell a whole strut, but oh well, that's your problem.
I think I can take care of that for you.
So how much money did I make?
Oh, I got that. I got your hours figured out here.
How'd I do?
Well, we got the ceiling and everything done. You earned an hour there. I did the other half.
Yes.
And then on the water pump, you didn't complete it.
No.
You got 2 hours out of the 2.5 done.
Oh, so you think there's 30 minutes worth of work left? Because I think it's hour. I spent like 3.5 hours on that to get to that point. So.
I can have it back together in 30 minutes. So you
Okay.
earned $34 on the
All right, so I'm on the losing end there.
And then you, on the ceiling job, you earned $22.
$22.
So let's figure that up real quick.
I also put the belt on, but then we had to take it off, so I guess that doesn't count.
You made $66,
Okay.
and you spent 5 hours doing it.
Yeah.
It's $13.20 an hour.
Oh boy, that's a lot of work for $13 an hour.
It is. You got to try to make it where you're making $40 an hour.
Right.
What about all the tools you'd have to buy to do the job?
Yeah. About how much in tools did I use, do you think?
What you used? Probably about $500 worth.
Yeah, not counting the AC machine.
Yeah.
So if I had to buy all the tools to do what I just did, then I would be negative $400 and something.
Right.
Which is why I don't work on cars. I don't really like it, and it's messy, and I'm really bad at it. I hurt myself and never have the tool that I need. And that's why I have you. And that's why I appreciate the car wizard and his beard of knowledge. Which my hands are dirty, sorry about that. So anyway, I'll leave you to finish this thing. I'm gonna go home, take a bath, cry myself to sleep, and thank you for watching. Here's the bells.